So a common theme that I've seen here is that you all enjoy to be active, whatever that is, right? So you don't have to be going 6 days per week. I think that that's a common myth in the fitness industry, is that you need to go, 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 and there is no rest, right? I think that I've seen people work themselves to the bone to the point where they can't work out for the next 3 months, right? And you have to think about fitness as something that should supplement your life right now. It should be something that you enjoy. It should be something that you really focus on, getting stronger over time. Weight loss, to me, should not necessarily be the main goal. Oh, good eye. That's okay. Your water was just about to spill there. So weight loss to me, well, I think weight loss is a great thing to measure. I think that a lot of people become a little bit too obsessed with it sometimes, and it gets to the point where, oh, perfect, okay. So, yeah, great. Okay, so why don't I throw some visuals up here? So there were a couple of pictures in there that I wanted to reference when I was 240 pounds, okay? So this was a point where I decided to make a big change. Now that picture that I just scrolled on right here, this is where I am today. That was taken a couple of days ago. And it's just basically, it's just to show that it is possible to continue to work as long as you're just focusing on some key principles, right? You just find what you enjoy and keep capitalizing on that, okay? It doesn't have to be A plus B equals C all the time, right? So some people mention they enjoy yoga. Some people have mentioned that they could only get a workout done at home. Some people have mentioned rock climbing. This is so important that you find what you enjoy in terms of fitness. Now, how can you supplement that with a healthy diet, right? We're eating lunch right now, lunchtime. This is a big thing, especially when we're downtown here and you have the fast food options, right? So I have this list that you guys can perhaps see up on the screen there. This is a list that I recommend for a lot of my clients in terms of eating. This is, if we were to talk about the proteins, fats, and carbs, the 3 macronutrients that make up your diet for a healthy diet, these are the recommended proteins that I would go with, okay? Now, a lot of that you see up there is meat, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you have to eat meat, right? So the eggs and dairy there, perhaps if you are not a meat eater, you can certainly focus on the proteins. And some of your carbohydrates do have protein in them as well. But these are the ones that I would recommend. So you can either take a snap of that, or if you guys want this full list, just let me know after and I can always email it to you. I'd be happy to do that as well. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because when you're making meals at home, which I recommend that most of your food should be coming from, is homemade meals. You can do any combination of these foods, right? Food quality is going to be first and foremost. It's going to be paramount when you are focusing on a healthy lifestyle when it comes whether it's weight gain, weight loss, or maintenance, okay? So if we were to go down to our fats, this is the macronutrient that kind of gets a bad rap, and I really don't want it to get the bad rap that it gets anymore, right? It's something back in the 80s and 90s where the low-fat diet really started to come into a craze, right? So you may even see some low-fat foods now. Low-fat foods are not necessarily good for you, but neither are high fats. It's understanding the types of good fats and the types of fats that you want to avoid. I hate using the word bad because I don't want you to have any shame when it comes to eating. That's super important, okay? So if you were to look at the fats there, you'll notice that some of it comes from nuts and seeds, some of it comes from your oils, and then eggs and dairy as well, if you are someone that enjoy eggs and dairy. So if we were to go to our carbohydrates, carbs are not the enemy. And I really want to throw that out there right now. So a lot of people right now, you're hearing about the ketogenic diet, okay? That is high-fat diet, right? And then carbohydrates, they really become the enemy, right? People say that carbs make me fat. Carbs will not make you fat, right? It's eating in excess that will get you fat, okay? So keep that in mind. And again, I'm just using that word, weight loss, not necessarily the goal, but I do want to say that eating in a caloric surplus, that means your allotted calories for the day, will end up getting you to gain weight. It's not necessarily the carbs, okay? So if you're looking at the carbs here, these are the carbs that I would recommend for most people to eat. I just noticed a spelling error there on honeydew melon, okay? So these are the carbohydrates that I really, really recommend. Now, when should you be eating these? Okay, now if you notice your fruits right here, these are what I would call your simple carbohydrates. So these are the ones that are going to give you the quick spike of energy that you would need, say, to fuel a workout. So these are the ones that I would recommend eating about 30 minutes before a workout so that you can have the energy to sustain whatever you're doing, whether it's walking, hiking, rock climbing, whatever you need to do. Okay, and then post-workout, I would look at your starchy grains. So your barley, your buckwheat, your sweet potato. This one, sweet potatoes, yams, my favorite. Your whole wheats as well. Those ones as well will just restore the glycogen within your muscles. So what happens when you work out is you end up depleting your glycogen stores. That's why you have that sore feeling in the muscles, okay? So you're depleting the glycogen out of the muscles, and you need to fuel them up with those starchy carbs, okay? So that's kind of how I'd recommend it. Timing comes into it just a little bit as well. As I mentioned, 30 minutes before. If you are having any of these starchy carbs before a workout, I would say 90 minutes. Do you ever get that full feeling when you're working out, walking, running, whatever it is, because you've just had a dinner or a big meal or a lunch or something, and you have that full kind of bloated feeling, you start to get cramping and everything like that? That may be due to just maybe some overeating or due to the fact that we're having some starchy carbs too soon before a workout. So I'd recommend 90 minutes before a workout when you're having those starchy carbs. Okay? Moving into our veggies, these ones here, if you are doing any sort of tracking of your food, it's not for everybody, but if you are tracking your food in any capacity, my recommendation, don't track your veggies. Eat as many vegetables as you would like, okay? The more, the better, in my opinion. Green, leafy vegetables, this full list here, awesome, great source. You're gonna get your phytonutrients when you're getting on this. These are the ones that you can't create by yourselves in your body and from other foods. So eat as many vegetables as you can at almost every single meal. That'll set you up for success down the road. So this just gets a little bit into the science as well. So protein, this is the one that repairs your muscles. So again, when you're working out, you're damaging your muscles, okay? So notice how when I lengthen here, I'm just stretching it, and then when I come up, I'm contracting it. And what ends up happening is the muscle fibers, they tear, and then they come back together. Now that tearing is what needs to be repaired. That's what ends up getting for muscle growth, okay? So protein, that's why you need to have the protein in your body. Now this protein, this I recommend for everybody to do to feel fuller longer. If you're finding in the morning and you're eating breakfast and you're having a big bowl of cereal, but then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon you're thinking, I'm just so hungry, I need that vending machine. It's because you're spiking your blood sugar a little bit higher in the day. So I'd recommend getting some protein. Focus on protein for the majority of your meals, and that will make you feel fuller longer. Okay, so if you're getting lunch from a nearby spot, look at the menu, okay, and really focus on, okay, should I be getting, a chicken salad versus a pasta salad, right? The pasta is going to spike that blood sugar versus the chicken and vegetables, which will make you feel fuller longer, and then you perhaps may not have that 3 o'clock crash where you're looking to get some more sugar in your body, okay? The 4 calories per gram, that's just going to help us create a meal plan if we ever wanted to. Yeah, and then we mentioned about carbohydrates. This is the one that's, this is the fuel. This is the one that gives you the energy. This is the one that kind of, and then it'll restore the glycogen stores in your muscles. So carbohydrates, again, not the enemy. Please make sure you're getting carbohydrates in. And then your fats, they do not make you fat. They're good for brain and organ health. There's your good fats versus your bad fats, so keep that in mind as well. So your bad fats are things like trans fats, so like cooking oils, like your canola oil, vegetable oils, those kinds of things. And then you're looking at your good fats. Those are like your olive oils and less processed things, okay?